Well, I love my little rooster and my rooster loves me. I'm gonna cherish my rooster 'neath the green bay tree. My little rooster goes cock-a-doodle-doo,
Hello friends, BLOO here. Now, you're probably wondering why the hell am I dressed like this? And to be fair, I'd be asking myself the same question. Today, I'm dressed like the bunny boy, who's become a familiar face on Pinterest boards and Instagram profile pictures alike. But that's enough about him for now. This video is about a movie which is very near and dear to my heart. A movie which begs the question of what happens to communities which are forgotten and left to decay. That movie is called Gummo, and this is its retrospective. Gummo was the directional debut of screenwriter Harmony Korine, who had already caught the interest of the film industry thanks to his work on Larry Clark's controversial 1995 film Kids. This time around, Korine had chosen to avoid a traditional three-act plot structure, choosing to instead create a chaotic narrative of various characters' lives, almost like a slice-of-life movie. This theme of chaos being consistent throughout, as Gummo was set in Xenia, Ohio, a place infamous for the real-life tornado disaster which occurred on April 3rd, 1974. Instead of choosing to film in Ohio, however, Korine chose to film in his hometown of Nashville, Tennessee, as he felt it was necessary to film where he grew up, scouting locations in the local area and approaching locals to play roles in the movie, such as then 12-year-old Jacob Sewell, aka the Bunny Boy, who was spotted by Korine skateboarding outside of a Nashville petrol station. They had ended up shooting the film in some of the poorest areas of Nashville. As producer Carrie Woods recalled, "We're essentially seeing the kind of poverty that we're used to seeing in third world countries when news crews are covering famines, but seeing that in the heart of America." One house that they were filming in fact, housed 15 people and was in such a dire condition that some of the film crew would outright refuse to go in. Korine's girlfriend at the time, Chloe Sevigny, who was also playing Dot in the movie, had designed all of the costumes for each character, gathering various costume pieces from thrift shops in the local area. All in all, Korine had shot the film in just 4 weeks, during the summer of 1996, and the final scenes were rushed on the last day of filming, as Korine had been waiting for rainfall to get the footage he wanted. The final scene shot was an extremely drunk Harmony sitting on a sofa with a dwarf. As stated before, Gummo didn't really have an established plot. It was deliberately written to be chaotic, as that was how Gummo's interpretation of Xenia was supposed to be. I think the best way to describe it is like a dystopian slice-of-life film. We as an audience are shown the lives of these characters, presenting them as real people. People that you could potentially meet in real life. Because as fictional as this movie was, people living in this level of poverty and decay exist within America today. Perhaps hinting to us that maybe this movie could be very much considered a reality, due to the current state of America. Hello again. I was just busy applying some makeup, which is kind of relevant to the soundtrack, I suppose. Where was I? The soundtrack for Gummo was an interesting one to say the least. It included songs from some of America's greatest musicians such as Madonna, Buddy Holly, and Roy Orbison, whilst also taking an extremely darker turn by including music from black metal bands such as Bethlehem, Bathory, and Absu. This movie's soundtrack was also how I got introduced to the Burzum ambient song Rung de Dam und die Transcendental Sound der Singerlath, showing how culturally varied this soundtrack was for new audiences. Additionally, Korine was also completely infatuated with black metal at the time, later going to do an art exhibition in 2000 themed around it, called The Sigil of the Cloven Hoof Marks Thy Path. The film would premiere at the 24th Annual Telluride Film Festival on August 29, 1997, During the screening, several members of the audience had left when the cat killing scene appeared. Gummo would also go on to win the KNF Award for Best Feature Film at the Rotterdam International Film Festival, and would later debut to cinemas in America on October 17, 1997, and in Europe on April 17, 1998. However, the film would only make a box office profit of $116,000 in total, roughly a tenth of its original budget. Whilst the film didn't succeed commercially, I don't think Harmony Korine ever really cared if it succeeded or not, to be honest. As he stated in an interview with Aaron Rose in 2019, "All that matters is that you try your best. You try to make the most beautiful thing you can and put it out into the world. And then you just keep going, and you wish for the best." Gummo would go on to be a cult classic in years to come, being referenced, recreated, and assimilated into popular culture. And so concludes my retrospective of Gummo. Thank you all for watching.